were born to be a star. I can be your savior. The boys, and sometimes girls keep slipping into the future. What happened? Cause let me be free to be the real me. The shoe. You were my baby. I love you right. An American rebel.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to Tuesdays with Rebel. We are live. I am your host, Ricky Rebel, Billboard Top 40 recording artist. And today I have some very powerful and like hot and sexy guests. All right. Some people from the beautiful The T&A Show, and I'm going to bring them on soon. But first, I want to talk about our sponsor for the show is C60 Evo, which is a very powerful antioxidant that you can get that'll help you get a better night's rest. It'll also help you after you work out. It'll help you like recover. And also it gives you better mental clarity so that you aren't a mashed potato brain Joe Biden person. All right. So go check out this product, available now on my website, rickyrebelrocks.com. Go to the C60 Evo tab. Check out this amazing product. And you can also get the C60 Evo Advanced Facial Serum, which I use every night. Gives you that beautiful glow and clear skin. So without further ado, let's bring out my beautiful guest, the T&A Show. Here we go. Boom.
Yeah.
What's up?
Hey guys. It's Tara and
Ricky,
Adam,
thanks for
right?
having us on the show.
Thank you.
Oh, thank you for being on the show. That's a wonderful set you have there.
Thank you very much. It's our home studio. And then also running tech today for us, we have Grayson Arnold, American Grayson.
Yeah, I'm the other guy.
Looking studly.
Thank you.
Are you helping them with the transitions and everything?
Yeah. I've actually been staying here as a guest host on the T&A Show. Usually I run Pure Politics, and we met a few times first at the Million MAGA March. So I do the Pure Politics thing, but I'm trying out the T&A Show. We're seeing where that's going.
He's
Amazing.
A temporary host. Trial period, right?
Trial permanent.
I love it. So what do you guys like to talk about on your show, the T&A Show? It sounds like...
Well, I guess everyone looked at me. I'll answer that question. We've been definitely getting involved more in interviewing political candidates for this year coming up. Obviously, we think that this country is headed in the wrong direction under, Democratic blue leadership. So we're trying to do what we can with our platform to support Republican candidates across the board, whether that's candidates here locally in Florida or anywhere across the U.S. So we're doing a lot of that. We also interview activists on our show. We've interviewed some controversial figures as well, including some of the Proud Boys before. So it runs the gamut. I mean, today I interviewed a woman with terminal cancer. So it really ranges interesting people, politicians and activists.
It all really started for me also with the walkaway movement when I went up to DC back in 2020 for Brenda Starker's event. And that's when the first rally and gathering that I had gone to, other than one Trump rally the week before, which was also my first Trump rally. But that's when I started really becoming active, going out there and rallying, and then starting a podcast. And Adam and I teamed up together to create the T&A Show.
That's right. Right there behind us.
I love it.
Hell yeah.
Did you guys say that you guys were talking about something sexual too? Like you guys talk about sex on your show?
Yeah, absolutely. Hell yeah. Well, I mean, the show is called the T&A Show, as Tara always says. So it kind of lends itself to talking about a little bit of tits and ass, Well,
I like that. I like that because my brand is definitely sexually, I don't know.
Charged.
I hate the word charged. Yeah. I think it's a good thing. I think sex is really very important part of being a human being. Yep. So I've always wondered why it's so I guess taboo in the right-leaning circles. I want to kind of break that taboo-ness of it and allow people to be sexually expressive, and the world's not gonna end. And even though sometimes it feels that way, right? It feels like if you give the radical left like an inch, like they all of a sudden they're teaching kids like crazy things in school.
Right. And that's an important part of also talking about it as conservatives, because when the conversation is being dominated by leftists, they're going to be pushing their agenda and what lessons they want taught to kids. So part of our show, we do talk about culture, politics, what's going on in society, and human relations, which sex is definitely involved with that.
Amazing. Amazing. So the title of our show, I really couldn't think of anything, too much other than F Joe Biden. Because I just see that the Dow just dropping like crazy. Inflation is really horrible right now. It costs so much money to live, especially where I live. I live in LA. I just see the prices, the gas prices rising. All the prices are rising, and there's times you go to shop for things and there's nothing on the shelves that you're looking for. I'm seeing that too. So I just wanted to call the show FJB because of that.
For sure. Actually, so I'm doing some renovations to the house, and so I went to IKEA the other day, and there were so many things that were out of stock. Like the initial inventory list that I came up of items I wanted to buy, I had to almost substitute everything that was on my list. And then one of my friends who lives in California, I saw on his Instagram too that he posted a reel of him going through IKEA, and I said, "Oh, I just got back from there." He goes, "Usually it's fun, but they had nothing." I go, "You too?" They had nothing also here in Florida, and he's in California, so it's like out of stock across the board.
Wow. So they're feeling it, right? They must be.
Yeah, it's crazy. It's really sad. I mean, I eat all my meals out. Tara actually laughs at me a lot because I spend all my money on food. And, I go to Wawa a lot, or I actually started going grocery shopping recently. And it's crazy though. Even you go to fast food restaurants, there's always something missing, whether it's straws or lids for my coffee, or I go to Taco Bell and it's like, "Sorry, we don't have any tomatoes today." And I'm like, what the hell is a chalupa supreme without a tomato on it? It doesn't have that same fresh bite. So this country is, can we use the S word, shit? The country's going to shit now under Joe Biden. And, I'm kind of happy that Joe Biden voters are getting what they voted for. I just wish they didn't have to take us down with them.
Exactly.
Just like their hat says, "Don't blame me, I voted for Trump."
Yeah, don't blame me, I voted for Trump.
Yeah. I think a lot of them are waking up. I'm such an impatient person. I was like, you guys should have woken up wake up like a long time ago. This is ridiculous. And like what's happening in Canada, those people are definitely, they're not having it. And Trudeau is really feeling the pain right now. What are your thoughts on all of that in Canada?
I think it's ironic that you even have Iran condemning the actions of Trudeau. That of like, if Iran's coming out and telling you you're shame on you, you definitely got problems.
Yeah, I mean, from what I understand, they declared martial law yesterday in Canada. Trudeau voted remotely for this, and it's 4 weeks now. And we all know the way that these globalist agendas have been working for the past 2.5 years. 2 weeks to slow the spread is now stop protesting or we'll kill your pet in Canada. So it's just crazy that, they've announced a 4-week martial law. There's no way it's going to be 4 weeks. It's probably going to be extended after that. I feel bad for Canadians.
Yeah, and I hope that that if it's in Canada, it's going to be spreading. What we saw in Australia would be spreading here in the rest of the world. So I'm glad that they're organizing the convoy that's going to go from California to DC.
Yep, and I'm hearing a lot of mumblings online. It's going to be at least 1,000 trucks, which is a huge number if you think about it. That's a lot of freaking trucks to go across country in a convoy with other truckers going along the way. And then they're all going to be in DC in early March. And Tara and I think we plan on being there to kind of capture the content.
Yeah, grab some on the ground footage.
Yeah.
Do you think it's going to be as, in a sense, like impactful as Canada has a couple bridges that they were able to shut down and then really make an impact with the infrastructure that America has? Do you feel like it's going to be as impactful?
I don't even know if what they did in Canada wasn't necessarily impactful enough. I think that, he's still doing what he ultimately wants to do, which is be a tyrant. And he's accomplishing that so far.
It almost makes things worse.
And then I heard that the truckers honorably discharged or honorably said, okay, we'll go away. But what I'm saying is I don't think it's over just because they left. I think I like the fact that people are still going to the streets and they're still giving them a hard time. They're like, we mean business. And I think, whoa, What was that?
I have 2 dogs.
That was a puppy moving around.
Oh my God.
She's been in my lap the whole time.
That should, I love it. It should lift our views up here.
Usually Raindrop has a spot on the couch, but I moved a lot of stuff onto equipment onto the couch, so she's rummaging trying to find a spot right now. Sorry about that, guys.
Speaking of raising our views, go ahead and share this live broadcast, everybody. If you're watching it live on Facebook or YouTube, please share it with your friends.
Share. Get Ricky those views. He deserves them. This guy's a hardworking, creative mind, and we need more people watching him.
People sleep on me. I don't know why. It sucks.
I have
I'm
an
so
input
fucking awesome.
on the Canadian truckers.
I can't.
What happened on the what input?
So Justin Trudeau has recently made a statement of where people get their funds unfrozen if they stop participating in the truckers protest, meaning all the people who donated to, I think, Gibson Go, all of them had their funds frozen when the truckers protest isn't going on anymore. So that's over. And then number 2, they have to make a public statement to the Canadian government that they are remorseful for participating in an insurrection. And that's what he said. They have to say that they are sorry for participating in an insurrection and admit guilt to it.
So re-education,
their funds unfrozen.
Re-education, and also what do they call that in a struggle session in China? They used to have struggle sessions. Have you guys heard of that?
Yeah.
No.
I'm not familiar.
So basically, if you did something that the party, which is Justin Trudeau, if you did something the party deems to be wrong, you'd have to go out in public wearing like a sign.
Oh, they have something like that in Singapore. If you litter,
yeah,
if you litter, you have to wear a sign.
It's called struggle sessions. So now it looks like Justin Trudeau is bringing that communist ideology over to. That's what it is.
Yeah,
it's a communist thing. So when people ask if Trudeau is a communist or not, here's our answer.
Yeah,
he is a friggin' commie to the highest order.
Did you guys see the video of him praising how China runs their shit over there?
Biden did too, actually. Can you believe that? Biden also, it's a clip that's kind of difficult to find, but he basically said that in times of like pandemics and COVID, having authoritarianism governments is actually useful because you can control the populations better and stop. And I'm just like, bro, like you're supposed to be the president of the US. You're supposed to never say that. You're supposed to say there's no circumstance where there's authoritarianism is a good thing. People should be given individual freedoms and choice to make the right decision. He's literally doing the communist playbook as well. It's crazy.
That's because his plan is to be a dictator and tyrant as well.
Right.
Trudeau.
I just feel like Trudeau is an abusive stepdad to Canada, and the truckers basically said we're gonna fight back against our stepdaddy, and that didn't make stepdaddy learn his lesson. Stepdaddy just got angrier. Stepdaddy went from the belts to the meat cleaver.
He did. Do you see? So I love it. Did you guys see the videos? I know. Did you guys see the videos of the way the police are treating the people? I mean,
they're stomping over the.
That's misinformation.
All right, so what happened?
Oh, that's all misinformation. No, I'm kidding. That's what they said.
Oh, I was like, what? Wait.
No, they came out and said that was an example of misinformation. And people are like, oh, we watched the woman get trampled by horses. Nope, that's misinformation. That's what they said.
I remember when that was like being shown on Twitter, and we showed it on our show, and some of our viewers were saying that our stream might get shut down for showing that. Like they're trying to stop what's really going on there from going out, just like in J6.
Wow.
Yeah.
Wow. See, we're fighting not just like the situations that are happening in the world. We're fighting the spin that the media puts on things. We're fighting that. So I'm hoping. Well, what the theory is that with the launch of Trump's new Truth Social app, that perhaps we'll have a platform where people can just really just talk about what they feel is really going on without being censored. But I think to myself, like, if they can censor all the other ones, why do you think Truth would be any different than that? Does that make sense?
Yeah.
Question.
Yeah.
Could they just take it off the app store? Couldn't they just do things that they've done to other
servers? Because I know like that's one of the problems that Parler had. It got taken off the app store, and it basically was no good when it came back afterwards.
Well, Gab has their own servers now. Gab has their own infrastructure. So as long as they're modeling it off of Gab, they should be okay. Like they should be able to survive. I think it's amazing that Trump has a platform again, one that he can talk to us in real time. and they said it won't be fully operational to end of March. I'm on the waiting list right now. I'm like number 107,000.
Yeah, you were saying you kept going up on the waiting
list. Yeah,
list.
because apparently when you first signed up, they forgot to add in the first batch of users. Oh, so that's why a lot of people, like my original number was 10,000 and now it's 107,000.
Gotcha.
I have to sign up as well. I tried signing up the other day and they sent my email like 3 hours after I signed up and the link was already expired.
Yeah, I was initially having that issue too. So it took a couple of tries and just like hitting the refresh button for it not to error, and then to finally get a confirmation saying that they received it and put me on the waiting list. So I think that Truth Social is going to break the internet. Everyone's flooding onto it.
Yeah, I don't know if you guys. I couldn't sleep until 6 a.m. tonight because I was watching the stock prices for DWAC. DWAC is the name of the stock ticker for the company. And it closed last week at $84. Today, do you know what it opened up at?
What?
$130.
Oh, that's amazing.
But it's scaled back. But I was just watching the price. It was up 60% today, the stock price. There's so much excitement. And by the way, the rest of the market is down right now. So the reason why that's important, it goes to show you the power that Trump has. When Trump puts his name on something, the conservatives and the supporters are such a huge market. They can neutralize a negative stock market day and give Trump Social, Truth Social. It's the same as Trump and the truth is the same word to me. It can give them 60% gains in a red day. It's unbelievable.
That is unbelievable.
Yeah.
They fear him so much. That's why they want to make sure that he can't run. They're trying to do everything that they can to prevent him from running because they know that he is their biggest, if not like maybe only threat.
You know, if they were to do something to prevent him from running, I cannot imagine the response that would happen in this country. I can't imagine the protests that would occur if Trump was blocked from running again. I mean,
we said that
crazy.
We said that when we said that if they stole the that would happen, but that didn't happen.
Cookies out of the cookie jar.
They stole the cookies out of the cookie jar, and we let them do that. Not we, but the Republicans on the Hill allowed that to happen, which is why I don't want to go to CPAC. I don't want to support that shit.
Are you going?
No, because like I said, I feel like the Republicans are just as responsible for the cookie jar being stolen from.
This is the first time I'm going to be going to CPAC, but Grayson had told me that one of the CPACs even in the past was like sponsored by Google. I mean, how more big tech can you get by that? I was very surprised. I'm going to go check it out, and a lot of people are it's going to be awesome for networking and everything. But yeah, that's with a grain of salt, knowing that still even in this convention, they had Google sponsoring them.
Ted Cruz is going to get booed.
He said some dumb shit.
I'll go to see that.
He said some dumb shit.
Yeah, we actually have a plan to
gripe shit.
We're going to gripe Ted Cruz about his J6 comments. So there's already a few people that are ready to do that.
Good. Like, I want to see that.
Hell yeah.
I mean, I've seen Trump like three times. He is so funny. I saw him at CPAC 2 years ago. The hard part about it is like when Trump speaks, like you have to wait in the audience for 6 hours. Like when you find your seat, you have to wait and wait. You have to pee. You can't get up. You can't get up. It's like, oh my God. Like during January 6th, I was there. Were you guys there?
All four of us were.
Yep.
We were all there. Oh my
yeah.
God. Yes. I was in the front row with Brandon Strzok and Scott Press, all gay people. Brandon Strzok, Ricky Rebel, and Scott Pressler. And we were just like right in the front row. And there's President Trump like pointing at us. And it was just a really cool moment. It was freezing. I just remember it being really cold.
Hell yeah. Yep.
Freezing as fuck. And at the time, Kirsten W., she was my, rest in peace, Kirsten W. She was the co-host of my show. And she had all these theories about everything, about what's really, what's going on behind. And part of it was like the weather warfare. She believed that they were purposely trying to make it super cold for us so that we couldn't show up. And there were lots of things, lots of theories that she had, but it was freezing that day.
That's the first time I wore a face mask, and I was happy to wear one because it keeps your face warm.
That's why I did it too.
Yeah.
People look at me like, why are you wearing that? I'm like, I'm freezing.
Yeah.
At one point I felt like claustrophobic because there was like 1 million people there. Like I was trying to get to there's like a truck that was going to take all the people who were like VIPs to the front. And in order to get to that truck, that little thing to take us, you had to walk through the crowd. And at one point I was walking through the crowd and I couldn't move. And I was like, oh my God. Like I never in my whole life, I've never felt that feeling where I feel like, oh, I feel unsafe. Like I can't do anything. But it was because I was wearing so much clothing. I had like layers and layers and layers, and I had a big jacket, big, thing like for the neck. And I'm a very lithe person. So I know that if in a situation, if it's just me and my body, like I'd be able to just jump on top of everybody and just, get away. You know what I'm saying? I'd be able to get out. But at that point I felt constricted. So I don't know. Have you ever felt claustrophobic before in your life?
Yeah, I mean, that January 6th was crazy. It was like going through a club. It was going through a club like in New York City and its heyday.
When I think of January 6th, though, it just really shows how important platforms like Truth Social are going to be, because we couldn't get the stories out there of what actually happened on J6, how the media controls everyone's perception and with the narrative. When you try to post any of the footage that shows what actually happened and not the tidbits that they're showing on like CNN, like it gets shut down right away.
Yeah. I tried to go live that day. I had Verizon at the time. Now I'm on T-Mobile. Yeah. God bless T-Mobile. But I was on Verizon at the time and I couldn't use my cell phone. They had shut down, cell phone service. So I couldn't live stream and I was really disappointed. So I just did I did a standard vlog. And after January 6th happened and there was all this heat on the event, I had this internal debate of, do I delete my video? Do I leave it up? But ultimately I knew I didn't do anything wrong. I never went to the Capitol. I never got close. So I left the vlog up, and I'm pretty sure the FBI has watched my videos. And if anyone wants to see them, go to YouTube, Adam Francisco, January 6th, type it in, you'll find the videos. It was a beautiful day outside of, the handful of violent as well as Antifa agitators. But it was a beautiful day, and I am so grateful that I was part of that experience. I thought it was very awesome.
It was a part of history, no matter what anybody says. And the media wants to make it out to be this horrific event that happened. And really, it was just it was like the Tea Party moment, throwing the tea off the boat. That's what that was. It was like a moment in time that will forever, that we were a part of. And we know the positive nature, as there were family, children there are families there, all colors of the rainbow there, all sexual preferences there, whatever the hell, all different types of Americans coming there. We were protesting the stealing of the cookie jar, the cookies from the cookie jar. That's what we were there for. Bottom line. And we were upset about that. And did some people go too far? Okay. Yeah. They trespassed. It's called trespassing. They trespassed. Okay. And some people got violent a little bit they broke the doors and things like that. But a lot of times we're finding out, which we knew even back then, that there were potentially Antifa people dressed up as MAGA. Okay. And I remember being there. The thing that struck me about that day was like, there were 0 Antifa people there. Did you guys see any
no counter protesters?
Black Lives Matter? No protesters.
None.
Which is
unheard of.
That is unheard of. Any event you do with Trump related or MAGA, there will always, no matter where you're at, San Francisco, there were tons of Antifa, tons of Black Lives Matters. But at this January 6th, the biggest, most important thing for them, like the election possibly not going their way because they, did something to it, they weren't there. And I saw one guy walking down the street. He had like a MAGA hat on. He's like drooling and shit. I'm like, that's not MAGA. This guy is not a MAGA. I knew it in my heart. I'm like, there's something wrong. There's something going on here. And that's when David J. Harris, David Harris Jr. or whatever is, we were walking and this guy came up. They just stormed the Capitol. MAGA just stormed the Capitol. And we looked at each other and we're like, no, that didn't happen. We wouldn't do that. And then sure enough, it, stuff did go down.
We've all been to so many MAGA rallies. I've never witnessed any violence at any of the MAGA rallies that I've gone to.
No, I mean,
I got something to put in with J6. I did an investigation into Ray Epps, who I was on the fence about if he was a federal agent, and now I'm 100% convinced that he is a federal provocateur for the FBI. And as soon as I talked with Ray Epps, I tried to get him on camera to answer some questions. It seems like mainstream media came out lockstep saying he's not a Fed and he's a good patriot and he's just an American who loves his country. And he was there January 5th. I was there and I heard him with my own ears saying, we're going to storm the Capitol. We're going to go inside the building. And he's telling people to do it. And some friends of mine, Baked Alaska, Wooza, they started chanting Fed at him because they picked up that this is not what MAGA is about. This is not what Trump supporters are about.
Right.
And then my friend Micajah Jackson confronts another suspected federal provocateur, Luke Robinson, and he is being thrown through the ringer by the Department of Justice right now, which is absolutely insane. They released the PDF on President's Day of personal information, sealed information to left-wing media in order to slander him. And they did it on President's Day, so there would be this 24-hour period where nobody can respond because nobody's at work, nobody's working. And it's just insane what they're doing to these people. So I definitely think that there were federal provocateurs. I'm 100% convinced of it. And like Ricky was saying, you see these people that were out there and they just did not represent what Trump was, because we've all been to the Million MAGA marches. We've all been to a bunch of different events that are pro-Trump, Trump speeches. And we see the types of people that attracts every single walk of life of American. And then at J6, of course, we have an extreme amount of diversity. It's entirely lying with Trump dividing the nation. No, Trump brought the nation together. People who would never speak, people who would never ally together. People know my stance on homosexuality. And I'm friends with Ricky Rebel now because of President Trump, that Trump was the great unifier. And we have people that were in the crowd January 6th that we could tell were not part of our team, that were pro-America first.
Yeah. But my whole thing is this was all strategically planned. They had the chess pieces in play that day. Mm-hmm. Nancy Pelosi and the Democrats and the left wing had a plan. They worked with Antifa and BLM activists. They worked with federal informants like Grayson is saying to paint us in a bad light. And then there's something called mob mentality. Mm-hmm. And it's exactly what happened in New York City 20 years ago at the Puerto Rican Day Parade, where a lot of Puerto Rican men that were there to celebrate their culture ended up, sexually harassing and assaulting women in the crowd. And the news came out and basically said it's a phenomenon called mob mentality. You get warped up by people around you. It's just a mass hysteria almost happens, and you start behaving in a way that you never would behave by yourself. These people were professional provocateurs, like Grayson said. They knew how to rile up the crowd. And I'm going to say, I think Trump supporters did go inside the Capitol that day. But what triggered them to go inside? What manipulated them to go inside? It was Antifa, it was the BLM, and it was the professional provocateurs.
And it was the lack of personnel there. Trump wanted more, right? Didn't he want more people policing?
He wanted 5,000 National Guards, and Pelosi turned him down, and so did Mario's enemy, Bowser.
Yeah, and it was just too easy to go in. They opened up the doors for them. They unlocked the things. Like, hey, go in. It's fine. They definitely wanted to create a narrative, and for the most part, I think they succeeded. Unfortunately, I think in the history books they're going to call it an insurrection, even though I think the insurrection happened election day.
Yeah, exactly. Because like when we go back to when in the future, when they're going to be looking at headlines, like when we look at headlines from World War II, for instance, and we know the propaganda that also had come out during that time, but people beforehand will look at what were the headlines, and that's going to be going down in the history books.
Yeah, the victors write the headlines. Look, all I want to say, and I know that we can't, because we know YouTube rules very well, so we can't talk about things in too much detail, right?
We can't. Yeah.
I just want to say, when you board up Windows to prevent people from watching what's going on, when you pause a count at 3 a.m. and it's synced up across 5 different, key areas, let's just say, and you hire hundreds of lawyers to prevent forensic audits, you don't look innocent. That's all we're going to say. You don't look innocent.
No, you don't. No. And anytime we say something about it, you wipe people of their accounts. So that's what we have to say. They stole the cookies from the cookie jar.
Yep, the cookies.
We have to talk in a very certain way, especially when it happened, when all this was going down. I remember the great MAGA purge on Twitter during the Million MAGA March and all of the stuff that was going down at that time. And I remember I lost like 30,000 followers over a very systematic time period, like 2 weeks, 2 or 3 weeks after the fact. It was just like they were just purging people. They were taking away tons of followers. Anybody who was talking about the stealing of the cookies or anything, the lockdowns in a negative way.
That's censorship. That's a Chinese style censorship that we're seeing all over America. And I'm not sure what platforms we're streaming on, but if you talk about it on YouTube, they're going to give you a strike. I got a strike for live streaming the DC anti-mandates protest. So they just don't want the truth out there. And if you say the wrong things, they are going to censor you.
I'm probably going to delete it off of YouTube after this. I know. Well, the views are much more hyped on Facebook. Shout out to my Facebook family. You guys are amazing. I love you so much. I love everybody on all my platforms, including Bigo. I go live on Bigo all the time. Thank you to my Bigo supporters.
I haven't heard of Bigo. You?
Oh, Bigo's amazing. I go live on Bigo like at least maybe 2 hours a day, Monday through Friday. And it's a great app. It's just very it's a fun app. So when people give you like an emoji, they don't have to give you gifts, but if they decide to, they can gift you like an emoji, and it changes the screen, and it's very cute. It's very reminds me of Japanese like stuff. You could like, it changes the screen, you can dance, and I just feel very comfortable on that app. I can say anything I want. I could talk about viruses. I could talk about anything.
Yeah, I was going to ask, how's the censorship on that app?
It's perfect. They don't care about anything political, and that's why I love it. I could say anything. I could say like anything Rumble. About. Yeah, it's like like live.
Censorship, though.
Really?
They do.
Yeah.
They do.
Rumble does.
No, but there is strong censorship though. Like I can never show my tit or my boob or my chest. Like you can't take your clothes off. You can't do things like that. Like
so you can't be shirtless on your stream.
No, that's a big no.
Even if you're a man, even if you're a cisgender male.
Oh yeah, it's a please don't use that language on my show.
don't assume his gender. Did you ask his pronouns?
No, I got mad that he used the word cis.
That's what they use.
He said that at our dinner table the other day, and my brother's like, "What's that?"
Yeah, cisgender. Yeah, that's what they say.
My friends were like, "What's that?"
I know. I hate that so much.
I know.
I'm like, no,
it's so bizarre.
I'm like, no, he's just a man. Like, shut the fuck up.
Exactly.
Shut the fuck up. You're the different one. You're the one who has to change, not the person who's actually the thing that we're talking about.
Right.
You're the one who has to come up with something new, not those people.
Right. I always say if it's obvious what your pronouns are, there's no need to list them. Like if you look like a man, why would you have to put he, him? It's the people that like are in mid transition or don't really know what, you know what I'm saying? Like I wouldn't need pronouns. I'm obviously a man. Tara doesn't need pronouns. She's obviously a woman. Grayson doesn't need pronouns. He's obviously a man.
Thank you for that.
Yeah.
Except for that one day that we dressed you up as a social experiment.
Yeah.
You did? You dressed up as a girl?
Yeah, talk about that a little bit, because people were very polite when you asked them these questions.
Yeah, I basically I'm trying to do a social experiment where I dress up like a trans woman.
That's a little bit more background. We were experimenting with what was that app that had come out?
Oh, so there was this app called Giggle.
It changes your face.
Have you heard of Giggle, the app Giggle?
No.
So it's an app that was targeting females only. And what they would do is you would upload a selfie and it would use AI to determine if you were a man or woman. So we decided to dress me up with a wig and some makeup to see if we can bypass the censors, because apparently a lot of trans women were getting rejected because the AI was flagging them as men.
Now, was it the CEO also said that she didn't want, she was okay with not having trans women and that people can call her whatever, but this platform was for females only. So in the experiment,
it denied me. I tried to log in.
So all of us took selfies and created profiles. So I was allowed in. Adam was allowed in both as when he was without makeup and then with makeup. And then Grayson was outright rejected.
And I think what it's looking for is facial hair. I think that's the only thing it's looking for.
Wait, actually, no.
I hope I make it.
We drew facial hair on you.
Yeah, but I mean, I think I could tell if it's 3D or not. Like,
it still accepted you when I put makeup of
a beard.
Hair.
Yeah, I look like a hot mess, Ricky. I'll send you the photos. But we decided afterwards, since I already had on this outfit of being a trans woman, that I would go out to in public dressed like that, and we would ask men if they would date a trans woman. They thought I was the trans woman asking them that question, and the response is they tried to be so polite. But it was so awkward.
Everyone was polite, and you can the people that we did question, we could tell where their political alignment even was just in conversation, but like nobody was rude. Nobody was rude. Nothing.
Nope.
Wow. So I applaud you for your brave nature to do that.
People said it was the best show ever, Adam.
Yeah, people said it was the greatest show ever.
You should do it again. You should do it.
We got a lot of super chats that day, and right now I'm actually looking for a trans woman that I can actually go out and do an episode with. I want her to be my co-host for the episode and ask people on the street if they would date a trans woman. I'm not big enough for Blair. I'm too much of a peon for Blair.
I love Blair.
I'd love to get Blair. Sweet. If you want to get Blair, and you can put her in touch with us for this video, yeah, let's do it.
Yeah, I'll talk to Blair.
Tell her Adam Francisco and Tara.
She got mad at me a long time ago, but I think we stopped that rift a long time ago. We ended it, but she got upset with me because I said back in the day I was like really a lot more of an instigator, I guess. I was really having fun with like really poking the bear and pushing people's buttons and just trying to just get to get a rise on Twitter and have fun. But I said something kind of provocative, and I knew it was provocative. I put my hair like in pink curls, like really, I had longer hair back then. So it was like pink curls and lashes and just like, peach blush. And then on the background, I'm like this. In the background, it had like a MAGA sticker on my fridge. And then it had like a gun range. I mean, my first time shooting a gun, the gun range thing on the background. And then I'm like, and on the Twitter post, I'm like, I said, fuck it. Should the LGBT community drop the T?
Wow.
And make them separate? Like one's about sexuality and one's about gender. Should we? It was a question.
Yeah.
It was a question. I posted it. Okay. Whoa. That was the most controversial thing I've ever done to the LGBT community, even beyond voting for Trump and going to the Grammys wearing the suit and everything. That was like, they call me a TERF. They that weird meme where they have like the cartoon characters like putting a gun up to the screen. Did you guys ever get that kind of like thing? Yeah. That meme?
No, I don't know the meme.
It's like when they're trying to be really super aggressive, like they want you to like get scared of that, but they do like this cartoon and they have like this gun, like you're a TERF and we're gonna hurt you or something like that. It's like weird. Anyway, a TERF, I guess, is somebody who trans exclusionary
real woman.
Is that what it is?
I think so.
Real. It's like you only support like you're not into the like trans women competing with biological females in sports.
Oh yeah, they shouldn't.
Anyway,
they shouldn't.
Blair got mad at me. She was like, "Ricky, why'd you do that? Like that's just rude." And I lost one of my friends over it. He's like, "You've gone off the deep end. I can't be your friend anymore." I'm like, this is like a simple question. There's LGB, which has to do with the sexuality preferences, and then you got the trans and the gender stuff, which is like maybe we should differentiate the two a little bit more.
That seems like a fair question to me. Like, why are they all grouped together?
I think it's definitely a fair question, but
I thought it was fair. I was trying to be a little. I must admit, I was trying to be a little pokey. But at the same time, it was the blowback was massive. Brandon Strock even said, "Well, Ricky, why'd you say that?" I said, "Blair White's mad at me. Can you please talk to Blair about this?" He's like, "Well, why'd you say that, Ricky?"
The thing is, like, people are construing that now to be hateful just to pose that as a question. But I do feel like it's something that needs to be discussed, because I have a lot of friends who are LG and they do feel that there should be a separation, because they view it as one being a sexual preference and the other being a completely different issue. Like, kind of when you're grouping it together, doesn't it just like melt? Because every community faces such different issues. So like if you're L and G, you're going to face different issues than you're facing from the T community. So it kind of groups it together, but melts. Like, it washes it out though when it's so grouped together.
And the other thing is
so very different.
The other thing is LGB is invisible for the most part. I mean, there are ways that you can express, your sexuality, but ultimately no one really knows your sexuality until, you talk about it or, you show actions. But transgender is a physical representation of yourself. So they are separate issues if you think about it.
Yeah, I'm so glad that you asked the question, because I feel like it's something that needs to be discussed, and it shouldn't be taboo to make it as a hateful statement. Is you're not posing it saying that it should or should not. You're just bringing up the conversation. And even if you feel like it should be separated, I don't think that's a hateful thing whatsoever, because I feel like the issues are so different that face these communities, and they should be addressed differently, have a different approach to talking to the different communities, to addressing, actually getting at the root of problems. And I feel like it dilutes it when you mash it together. But
yeah.
So I think that's great that you asked the question.
I think that's why the tweet blew up the way it did, because it forced them to kind of like wrestle with these ideas. And the radical left doesn't like to wrestle with ideas. They like to wrestle with feelings. They like feelings. They like to feel things, and they like to express things. And they don't want to necessarily deal with the logic of reality.
Were you ever a liberal or Democrat voter?
No. The first time I ever voted was for President Trump in 2016. The other years, I've never felt inclined to vote for anybody, because I really didn't feel like I believed in what they wanted enough. I was never really inspired by any politician in the world, except for President Trump when he came out and started talking bluntly. I did praise President Obama when he came out, and he was like the first president to mention straight and gay people and, being for everybody. He mentioned that in his speech in front of all that. And I thought that was pretty cool. It was the first time I'd ever heard a politician or president ever talk positively about the gay community. So for that, I actually was like, oh, that's pretty cool. But then I started seeing like, okay, all my taxes, all my money disappear from all the commercials and the movies I was doing. I'm like, no, I don't like this guy. We gotta get him out of here. He's a socialist.
You're like, I'm okay with a little bit of the gay hate as long as I get my money, right?
Yeah. Don't fuck my money, bitch. You know what I'm saying? You can think whatever you want about what I do in the bedroom. I probably don't like what you're doing in the bedroom either. So it's like, whatever. Or I might judge something you're doing, or you might fantasize
like what he does
about.
in the bedroom. I don't like what Obama. I don't like what Barack Obama does in the bedroom. Michelle Obama, not
Michael with Michael.
I didn't say it. I
heard that Michelle didn't make the cut on that app.
On the Giggle app, yeah.
Wait, sir.
They thought she was not a girl.
Rejected.
Are you serious?
And she wasn't even trying to dress like a man.
Wait, are you serious? This is a serious story, or are you making a joke?
She took the selfie as she is.
Statement.
As she is, and she got rejected.
Wow. Yeah, I mean, look, I just don't, find her to be the most attractive woman. That's just my opinion. Not my type. Nothing wrong with that. Nothing wrong with saying that.
She's not attractive.
She's some people's types.
She's really big. She's big.
That's the thing. I'm 5'10".
Girl. She's a big girl.
I'm a manlet.
She's broad. She's like a big girl.
Yeah, like I'm a manlet. Like I'm a little man.
So you're a manlet. Yeah,
I'm manlet. So to me, I can't have a woman that's as big boned as Michelle Obama is. I need a woman who's 5'3", 5'2", 5'7" at most, because I'm 5'10".
You can throw around and like you can get her on top of you, and
you know what I'm talking about. I can't really throw around a 5'7" girl. That's a bit too. Yeah, it's a bit too big, and I'm pretty strong. But I think 5'3" is a good height for me.
That's cute.
Yeah,
I have no. I don't know. I like so many different types of people. I don't have preferences. It has to do with a vibe, Has to do with the vibe.
Yeah.
I like a lot of different types of things. So
it's like
anyway, that's another story.
Yeah, Ricky's an equal opportunity employer. He doesn't want to.
I really am. Yeah. I really am. I like being that way. I think I have my of course
affirmative action for Ricky Rebel's dating scene, because this whole Michelle Obama thing, affirmative action for Black women.
What is that? What do you mean by that?
Well, you're not an equal opportunity employer if you don't have affirmative action. So we got to have affirmative action for you as an equal opportunity employer with Michelle Obama.
If you're not attracted to Michelle Obama, you're a racist.
Oh, I heard about that. Yeah, you're a transphobe.
Yeah.
Even though she's not trans, I don't know.
Yeah, that's
if you're not attracted to a trans person, you're a transphobe.
That's the new thing by the left now, is having trans women try to put some kind of pressure on straight men to date them, and if you don't, then you're transphobic. But it's like there's something called preferences. So, and they try to do it too in the obese community as well. They say that if you're not attracted to fat people, then you're fat phobic. And it's like every person, for the most part, every person has some kind of preference, whether it's body shape, you know, skin color, ethnicity, heritage, culture. We all have a preference, and it's okay.
And a lot of conservative men are going to want to have children.
Right.
So that kind of rules out certain people.
Correct.
And a lot of people might be a little bit grossed out that somebody was somebody else before the thing. Like, fuck it.
Right.
It's a reality check. Like, everybody's allowed to be grossed out about whatever they want to be grossed out about. Like,
Correct.
It is what it is. It is what it is. And whatever, like, let people be. Some people don't like hot dogs. Some people love hot dogs. Some people love pizza. Some people like, some people
like donuts.
And smoothies and donuts and some people are grossed out. I know. I just mentioned pizza. Now everybody's gonna think, oh God, Illuminati.
Yeah, Hillary. Hope she's not watching.
Hillary loves pizza. Okay.
Yeah, I hope she's not watching the stream.
With pepperoni or cheese, extra cheese, right?
Yeah, we're gonna be disappeared. Just like did you hear what happened with Jeffrey Epstein's friend? Also died from a suicide, and also the cameras didn't work. No joke.
You know what? That's what this is all about. You guys understand this, right? That's what COVID was about. That's what the lockdowns are about, in my opinion. That's what the new war that's about to be started. That's what everything is all about. What I just mentioned, that food.
It could be.
And it could be. That's my opinion. That they are into really dark shit. They're into really horrible shit, and they want to keep it a secret. And Trump knew about all the dark shit that they do. He was in the club, but he probably didn't participate. Hopefully, he didn't, which I don't think he did at all. But he knew all their secrets. He knew all the shit. He's like, I'm going to take you down.
Did you hear about that Facebook executive that got caught in a sting on YouTube undercover?
The Metasphere. Metaverse thing? Metasphere,
what
Metaverse,
happened?
whatever.
Ahead of one of the community development teams for Meta was caught in one of those predator stings online where people have decoys on dating apps. And he was immediately fired. He hasn't been charged with anything yet, but he's been exposed. And we talk about this on our podcast sometimes. I truly believe that what we're talking about, the attraction to minors, right? As the left calls it, MAPs, minor attracted persons. I really do think that it lends itself more to liberal ideology, because conservative values, and we talk about this a lot, are pro-God, pro-family, fear of hell. And so it keeps you in order, keeps you in check. Even if a conservative person is, let's say, an MAP, minor attracted person, there's still things that'll keep them in check. Whereas liberals are all about free sexuality and redefining words. And, you got Newsom out in California that's decriminalizing sodomy against minors. They made it less of a crime out there,
lowering the age of consent,
or HIV. They made it less of a felony. They made it a misdemeanor not to reveal in California.
I hate that.
So the left is doing a lot of things that is trying to really make sex very flexible when it comes to age and types that you can engage in. And I think that they're the side that's just more likely to engage in this kind of stuff. Not saying that right wingers can't be caught in this. It probably has happened. But it's just from an ideological level.
They do, actually. They go hard on Grindr when they do events, the Republicans. Because they're not all of them. Yeah. Not all of them. I'm talking about the ones who, because they're also repressed,
Correct.
I think that's why this is all happening now. Basically, they have dark secrets. They have things that they've done, and they're trying to keep it on, down here, but eventually it's all going to come out. It's all coming out. So that's what we're up against.
I wonder if it's a coincidence that Trump's in office and Ghislaine Maxwell goes down, Jeffrey Epstein goes down. All this happened while Trump was in office. It's interesting to think about that maybe he had a hand in that.
I hope so. Well, that was always Kirsten's theory. Kirsten W. God rest her soul.
What can I ask? What happened to her?
There's a lot that happened to her. Where do I begin?
She was your co-host?
Yes. And she is a top-selling author, and she was also friends with Roseanne, and she was she was big into conspiracy type of, I don't like the word conspiracy. She was big into the idea that Trump is still in control and the military is in control of what's happening rather than Biden and his administration doing what they're doing. And she what happened to her, you guys want to get into this? Oh yeah, she had military intel. And all my fans on this Facebook, we miss her terribly, because she would come on my show every Tuesday. And I'm hoping you guys become my new co-hosts, if you don't mind, and I can go on your show if you want or whatever. I love your energy so much, and I would just love. Yeah, you into that?
Yeah. We're gonna do a dance video together.
Okay,
you're writing a song.
We're writing a song.
Oh, you're writing a dance song?
We'll talk about that after.
Yeah. I want to hear about what happened to your co-host.
Okay, so she was my very close friend, and she came every Tuesday, right on the money. She always had this great intel of what she felt was happening behind the scenes, the battle that was occurring between the deep state and the patriots. And what happened was we threw an event in Virginia. She really wanted me to do an event with her, so we flew out to Virginia. We did this great event, and a lot of the people came, and we signed autographs. I gave CDs out, and she gave a big speech and was selling her books. And she was just very entrepreneurial type of person, always pushing me to sell and to push and to grow as a person and really promote. And anyway, after that, she wanted to work with my skincare person. Her name is Michelle Fisher. Shout out to Loudon Medical Aesthetics in Virginia. If you want to get the best skincare, like look 20 years younger than you really are, you should go there. So I connected, really Kirsten wanted to work with her because she saw the results and everything. She's like, oh, I want to get the cryo, like get sucked out. Like she wanted her reduced fat. And that was kind of a new thing that Michelle was doing at her place. It's kind of a new thing. And so I personally had never done it before. Cryo freezing, it's like where they kind of, they melt the fat or they lift it and tone it. And so I only knew about the vampire facial, how great the vampire facial was. I was like, Kirsten, just get the vampire facial. You're going to love it. She's like, no, I want the fat thing too. So she got the vampire facial. She got all kinds of cryo freezing. And mind you, it was like a lot of it. And she wanted more. And Michelle's like, no, like we're done, you know? And so Kirsten was really upset because she's like, I didn't get my money's worth. I didn't She always wanted more. Long story short, she flies back to Florida and she started getting sick in Florida. And we had an event that we were going to do for New Year's in LA with a big fashion designer red carpet event. And she was really excited for it. And that's why she wanted to get that slimming thing done for that event. She got sick and we told her not to fly and do anything, just kind of take care of herself. I mean, babe, you need to take care of yourself. But she was super stressed the fuck out, like beyond measure, because she really wanted like super fast results. But that's not what cryofreezing does. Like you have to go 10 times before you see like really great results. Like you have to keep it going, you know? Long story short, she ends up flying from Florida to California. And apparently she got sicker and then had to be taken into a hospital in California. And then from there, all I saw was a post on her Instagram of her like, you know, with a thing on, looking horrible. She's like, I have pneumonia. She had like some type of like a chest infection, bacterial infection in the chest. And then that was it. And I tried to call her. I couldn't get a hold of her. And then people were starting rumors that she couldn't get out, that she was stuck there, that they were holding her there. And I called her and finally she answered the phone and I said, Kirsten, what's going on? Like, she's like, I can't even say this. I am not going to say this. I'm not going to say that. What I will say is that she's like, they're keeping me here. And I'm on oxygen. And I'm like, where are you? And then finally she said like the name of stuff, but it didn't match. Like it didn't match the name. So I tried to get the word out of where she was. But the bottom line is she died in that hospital. Apparently she died. And I said, do you have COVID? And she's like, no, I have a you know, a bacterial infection. So yeah, she died. And it was like a big deal. Like, I mean, to this day, I still get letters of people missing Kirsten W. Kirsten W. She had like a top selling book. But the rumor is that she might have denied treatments. But I don't think in California they give treatments for COVID. They don't. What they tell you is to drink water and go home.
In Florida, they're giving the how do you say
They were the monoclonal antibodies.
Yeah, because what my mom's best friend, her husband just got it like a couple of days ago.
They still doing it again?
Yeah, they're still doing it.
Because they paused it for a while. It looks like they're back.
In California and LA, like they won't do that. Like they will. When I got it, I asked them like, hey, can I do something? She's like, no, you got to drink water and get lots of rest. I'm like, fuck you, bitch. You know what I mean? Fuck you, bitch. You know there's more you can do. You could put me on an antibiotic. You could do some shit. Like you could do something like you've always done for me. You know, whenever I get sick, like you've always taken care of me.
But they can't these days because there's only one way to treat this, and that's the vaccine. That's it. There's no other option here. They can't allow any other options. They can't allow it.
Otherwise, the vaccine wouldn't have been approved.
The bottom line is there's the Joe Rogan program that he took, the Joe Rogan program, the horse meds. And I'm telling you, I took it too, because I bought it when I was in Mexico, where it's over the counter, $7 a dose. And let me tell you something. When I got Omicron, I took the dose as recommended by the internet. And within 36 hours, I was 99% healed of Omicron. And, you know, the science is that it prevents duplication of the virus. That's what the science says. It's antiviral. And what that does is it gives your immune system a better chance to mount a defense and fight against the virus.
Interesting. Yeah.
Whereas
I don't trust these hospitals.
when Tara got it, she had symptoms for 7 days.
Longer, about 10 days.
10 days of
10
symptoms.
days, yeah.
And I had 36 hours.
It wasn't severe, just light cough, but I, quarantine stayed away from everybody and everything.
So I do think that this stuff
Did you
works.
Did you do the same thing, Tara?
She didn't.
No, I just
You stuck it
stayed away
through.
from it. Yeah, I stuck it through. It was a mild cold at most for me.
And
Oh, good.
what's interesting is Project Veritas did a leak a couple months ago with military documents from a company called DARPA, which is a defense arm of the military, the government, whatever. And as of April 2020, the scientists were saying that the Joe Rogan program was curative. That's the word they were using, was curative. Okay. So if they knew this whole time that it was a curative, there would have been no pandemic. There would have been no shutdowns. There would have been no lockdowns. There would have been none of this. There would have been no mail-in ballots. So through COVID, whether or not the Democrats are responsible for that, I don't want to go that far. That's a little too extreme for me. But the Democrats know how to take advantage of a good crisis.
Yeah.
And they abused the hell out of this crisis in a way that put them in power. And you know what? They're smart. What can I say?
I don't trust these hospitals. So like I don't feel like I'm so sorry to hear about Kristen.
Yep.
I don't trust what's
awful.
coming out of these hospitals, and if people could avoid them,
And the normies always say to you, the normies are always saying stuff like, what, you think every doctor's in on this thing? It's like, yo, first of all, they all have jobs, they all have bosses. It all comes from top down. Only a handful of people at a hospital have to mandate procedures and policies, and the rest follow suit.
Yeah. Even before, maybe at the start of it, 2 years ago, one of my friends who's a doctor in Canada, she said that if we don't go according to what the government is mandating the hospitals as the treatment, as the protocol of what to say, they'll pull their licenses. She told me. She's like, I'll have my license pulled if we don't follow what the government is telling us.
Well, they do it in the U.S. They do it in the U.S. too. Yeah. People have been delicensed, deplatformed. Especially doctors like Dr. Stella Emanuel. They're ostracized from the community through paid opposition. So that's the times we're living in. Censorship isn't just of us as content creators. It's also coming for the medical establishment. It's coming for anybody that is not in line with the narrative, lockstep with the party.
Well, I'm grateful that you guys are so outspoken about these things and that you have your own show and you're doing what you can to help America. free us from these tyrants and getting the word out the way you do. I appreciate that. Our audience appreciates that. Thank you for joining the show, and hopefully you can come back it's serious, every Tuesday at 12 p.m. I'd love to have you guys on. You guys are so cool. I think we have good chemistry. We have great, I love all you guys. So thank you so much. And where can people find you, the T&A Show?
Well, I stream on my platform, which is the Polish American Brotherhood, POAM Brotherhood. So on YouTube, if people search Polish American Brotherhood, which you actually have to search out the full Polish American Brotherhood now because that's a shadow banned. But that's where you can find me, Tara Shmansky.
And Tara's channel is well known for her live streams on the ground. She attends a lot of rallies. She riot chases. She does protests. She's an enemy of Antifa. And this girl is courageous and has no fear. So if you guys want to see up close content on the ground, she is probably one of the best channels that you can follow. And then my name is Adam Francisco. I do a lot of online conversations, podcasts, and street interviews. That's kind of become my focus, street interviews, like Mark Dice style, but not as funny. He's funnier than I am. And yeah, you could find me, Adam Francisco, everywhere. TikTok, Instagram, YouTube. But I'm shadow banned everywhere, so make sure you type the full name in.
Yeah, I tried to tag you. I couldn't tag you today.
You can't tag me. You can't even find me. They've destroyed my Instagram account.
Well,
and then
Be Free My Sheeple.
You got to use Be Free My Sheeple, which is my backup Instagram. And then Grayson, if you want to give your shout out as a tech guy.
Yeah, thanks for remembering me. Yeah, shameless self plug. American Grayson, Greyson. So pretty much look me up on Instagram. I'm coming back to Twitter. I'm banned right there, and YouTube. Oh, and I'm on Telegram as Pure Politics, PURE Politics.
It's crazy. We're all freaking banned somewhere. It's unbelievable.
Except for me, because I have.
Yeah, but you know, you made it. You're blessed, man.
Deep state.
Fed.
Our streams all went down.
Kidding.
Adam.
Just kidding.
Exactly.
Just kidding. I covered one eye. Oh my god.
Hey, by the way, Ricky, you got 100 viewers on your YouTube right now.
Oh, that's great. Yeah,
That's
we used to have seriously 1,000 viewers with Kirsten. So I'm really grateful you guys are coming back on, because I feel like you bring back that energy, that life for politics. Because my quotient for politics went down to here, my patience for it. I'm focusing more on the music, but you guys have really helped me get more inspired. So thank you.
Awesome.
All right. We'll see you guys next week. Thank you for joining Tuesdays with Rebel. Every Tuesday live at 12 p.m. PST. You guys can follow me on all social media platforms at Ricky Rebel Rocks. We'll see you next week. Oh, and I think I could play a music video.
God bless Trump.
I have a request. Could you play the one where you and Tara do that dance? Because that is an amazing video.
Oh my God. I love that
You
video.
have it?
Where is that? Is that on? Did you post it, Tara?
It's called
on
Dance
YouTube?
Monkey. It's Dance Monkey. Hold on. If you give me one second.
Yeah. No, I'll find it. I'll find it. Hold on. Dance Monkey with Tara and Ricky Rebel. Let's see if that's online here.
I found it.
There it is. Okay. It's going to give us a little strike thing, but that's okay. It's worth it. Or not a little strike, but you know what I mean? It'll
The copyright.
take away the music. Yeah.
The music.
But that's okay. I'll post it here. Let's find it.
Yeah, I get
Maybe
demonetized on YouTube so much.
I'll mute the music.
Oh, we need the music.
Just take the demonetization, Ricky. It's worth it.
Just take the demonetization
on YouTube. Yeah, just
How
take
many times have I heard that?
Just take it, baby. Take it, baby girl.
Oh my God. I'm getting
If you love me, you'll do this.
Yeah, if you love
That's
me.
my usual line.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Is it what it is?
A lot.
If you love me, you'll put this there.
Yeah,
I
hear
love
from
that.
Tara.
That's very cool.
That's very cool.
It's very, very effective.
Prove that you love
I
me.
think Ricky's getting a little hot and bothered right now.
I really am. Here's Tara and Ricky dancing.
Well, there goes your monetization.
I know.
Oh my God. I had my Sony TV1 in my pocket. I was like, I don't know. I wanted to break it down.
My favorite part is when Ricky catches it, sees what's happening, and just gets
This guy in
involved.
the background's so cute too. I met him at Harry's.
I think it's gonna be a great video. I
Oh
have,
wow,
yeah.
that's cool. That's so cool.
I'm gonna message you,
All
Ricky,
right.
and tell you what it's about. All right.
Just on the
You know,
live
you know
stream
what's
message.
cool about what's cool about the censorship thing is now they just kind of just mute that part, that section, and they go back. You know what I mean? And then they ask you, would you like to remove that? You know, and you can decide. But at least you got to hear it. That was fun.
So I just messaged you on Instagram. I DM'd you the name of the song that we're working on. And if you just want to read that real quick, quietly, and not repeat it out loud, if you think it's a good idea, check on Insta. Yeah, check your DMs.
All right.
I dropped the name of the song that we're trying to. I saw you just saw it.
But what is it, like a parody idea?
No, like it'll be like well, it's kind of like what
It's gonna be a comedy.
It's like a comedy, you know, like
Yeah.
Yeah, it's a fun like dance song.
It's like a fun dance song. Oh, I guess that's our cue. Clap.
Ricky, thank you so much for having
Thank
us on your
you.
channel.
Thank you so much. I'll see you guys next week. Bye, everybody. Bye-bye.
Bye.